Hello. Over the summer, I made a video about Alexa Nicholas and Eat Predators. Um, she had a bit of a moment on the internet in the summer and started espousing information that was the antithesis of what the goal of Eat Predators should be: power to survivors. And not just it shouldn't just be power to survivors that are convenient for your story or power to survivors that are perfect victims. It should be power to all survivors, even those that go on to perpetuate themselves. People can have made those egregious mistakes, but they can still start over. They can still atone for what they've done and move forward and learn and grow and not continue to perpetuate cycles of abuse. So I think that you can eat predators and I think that you can eat predators while being a predator. And I don't necessarily think that's wrong. I don't think that there is necessarily hope for everyone. But multiple things can be true at once. And I truly believe that everyone deserves another chance. You just don't really get to choose who that person is that's giving you a chance. And often, I would think, if you are in need of a second chance for predatory behavior, it's not going to come from the people. It's not going to come from your survivors. It'll come from new people who are willing to meet you where you are at that new point in time. So today, I removed my Eat Predators patch from my jacket. Alexa Nicholas came back to the internet and she is singing the same tune about Kat Tembarge and Adam McIntyre and her lawyer, whose name eludes me at the moment. But her lawyer who has represented Prince Andrew and Danny Masterson, and I believe he briefly represented Colleen Ballinger for her green-faced debacle. Andrew Brettler, I believe that's his name. But there's something very I don't necessarily agree with the people that this man has defended. I don't, but I agree that everyone should have representation. And there's no real reason why an organization standing on power to survivors and supporting in survivors and eating predators should hire such a large name attorney to defend the organization. Such a large named attorney that has been the defender of so many predators. I don't know what the other option is, but I'm sure Google fucking knows, right? Like, there had to be other options. I understand that someone recommended this lawyer to Alexa, and I am very overwhelmed by choice. She may well as well be overwhelmed by choice, and something like choosing a lawyer is something that I imagine is extremely overwhelming. All of the literally all of the options that you have, and how important it is, and you're under stress when you need to find a lawyer because obviously you're looking for a lawyer. But she had come out and spoken against Andrew Butler in the past. And she has espoused the stance that hiring a certain lawyer can make you look guilty, which is not necessarily something I love, because again, I do think everyone should have access to attorneys, and God forbid you find yourself wrongfully accused of something heinous. You want a lawyer that's been able to work in that arena before. But in the case of Alexa Nikolas and Eat Predators and Kat Tembarge, it was defamation. There are other options out there. And I think that it is hurtful to the people that supported Eat Predators to line the pockets of someone who has been the defender of so many predators. Now, Alexa Nikolas came back to the internet after like 5 months, and she could have done so many things. And I was listening to Adam McIntyre's video and a couple of others, and they spoke of, if she had taken her time off from the internet and come back and started posting the stuff that Eat Predators started with, exposing people. I know there was mention, she has thoughts to weigh in on the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively debacle. I don't actually know my opinions on that whole situation at the moment. I feel like I still need to see more. Or maybe see less, but what if we just made a fucking website and threw everything on there? Yeah, sure. Okay. But Adam spoke of her taking some time off and coming back and continuing to eat predators, right? And there are parts of her audience that were ride or die. They were going to be there no matter what. And there were people like me who were waiting for her to come back and hoping that it would return to the message of her organization, to exposing predators, especially those in Hollywood and those in the music industry. I really think that these are conversations that need to be had. The more we have these conversations, the more freely others can share their experiences, which can be helpful not just for justice and healing, but it can be helpful for other people to hear those stories. I have been helped by listening to other people's stories. And it was me. I was the audience that you could have come back and I would have jumped right back in. We all get in over our heads, and it didn't seem like Alexa Nikolas was thinking without fear before she left the internet on her Kat Timbarge and Adam McIntyre escapades. I lost where I was going with that. But, hi, Alexa Nikolas. I was your potential audience to come back. I know that you kind of wilded out, but I was ready to rejoin. I sewed Eat Predators on my fucking jean jacket. Like, I was here for your cause and exposing and telling these stories. And I would have loved if you could have helped people in that industry tell these stories. The Nickelodeon child star like movement that happened, I think that was what, spring 2024, or maybe it was the year before that. It's hard to remember. I think it's important for people to know the insides and outsides of what they're consuming. And yes, especially with child stars, like, we've known that while it can go okay, child stardom can often lead to heartbreaking adulthoods and young adulthoods. And we can still enjoy this media, but to understand sacrifices and the cost of watching Zoe 101. And I wish she had come back different. I wish Alexa Nikolas had decided to come back and continuing to empower survivors. But instead she came back and she's doubled down, and with this strange, using her return to launch a Blue Sky to pick a fight with Kat Timbarge, to like gain more traction on a new platform by outrage. I was one of the people that was waiting for her to come back and show that she's changed and do better. We all fuck up. We all have low points, and especially with her weaponizing the stories of Drake Bell's victims and those court documents. Like, it is awful that she did that, and it's awful that she wanted to use someone else's story as a gotcha. But just say that. Say that you made a mistake. Say that you were caught up, and it's too late now. I was your audience. Hi. I was the audience that was willing to come back. Hi again. I am the audience you have lost. I guess this one is goodbye. There's so much potential and promise with her. And I hope that she finds her way. We'll see if I'm still waiting around. If she gets her shit together. This time I was. Next time I probably won't be.